Hi there and welcome to the weekly edition of the Lowell Sun's Inside High School Football Report, exclusively on lowellsun.com. Today, the big news around Eastern Mass football is the realignment, which in its infinite wisdom, the MIAA and the football coaches decided they didn't have enough state champion football teams, they needed a few more. So these leagues were like 4 or 5 teams are going to be playing for Super Bowls. It's absolutely crazy. Carmine Frongillo has a little more information on that. Carmine?
Yeah, the committee got together, I guess it was on Tuesday, and they added a 5th division. And so now you're going to have 4 divisions with 2 champs in them and a 5th division with 1 champ. So Eastern Mass will, if my math is correct, will have 9 Super Bowl champions in Eastern Mass. It affected one of our leagues in particular, the Duke County, was actually going to be bumped up to Division 1. They appealed it. They won their appeal, so they're going to stay in Division 1 AA. And the Bay State Cary will be bumping up. That's a league with Weymouth is traditionally a power in that league right now. And it affected the MVC Large in a way because the MVC Large had traditionally played the Greater Boston. That's the league that dropped down. So Everett, which is traditionally one of the state powers, will now be playing in Division 1A. I don't know if that's a good thing for the Dual County League teams. Could be playing them in the playoffs. And the MVC will now, at least for the next 2 years, in 2011 and 2012, will be playing the Catholic Conference champion, which is traditionally like Severian or St. John's Prep. So it's not it'll be no easy task for the MVC Large champ.
That's a tougher assignment for MVC Large, isn't it?
I think Everett's tough too. So either way, you pick your poison there.
Yeah, I guess so. There's also 6 or 8 Central Mass champs, 6 or 8 Western Mass champs. It's crazy. It's going to be like baseball. We're going to add a couple more wild card teams. Everybody gets a trophy like Pop Warner. All right, let's get off that. Let's talk about some big games this week. Rick Harrison, Burlington and Reading, Middlesex League title on the line. 2 undefeated clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to come down to them almost every year in this league, and Reading has had the upper hand more often than not. Burlington has missed the playoffs by 1 game so many times in the last couple of decades that Sean McGuire must be a little bit frustrated. But this year, both of them are undefeated in the league. I believe Reading is 7-0 overall. Burlington's 6-1. They won 6 in a row after losing a tight one to Billerica at the beginning of the year. And Burlington this year might have the best 1-2 running combination in our area. They got Marcus Odaya and Kyle Shields, both have close to 700 yards. I think Marcus got 90 points and Kyle's got 60, so that's going to obviously be their strength. Don't know a lot about Reading, but they're always good every year.
Reading's got a couple of, matter of fact, it features a number of 4 of the top scorers in EMAS Division 2. Reading's led by Larry Gilligan and Brian Bork. Each have scored up near 60 points themselves. And it's interesting, these are 2 of the higher scoring teams in the state. Reading's averaging 37 points a game, and Burlington's averaging close to 32. Reading only gives up 6 points a game, and Burlington's giving up only 2 touchdowns a game. So something's got to give in this one. It should be a pretty good game, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Rick.
No.
Another big game we want to talk about is Central Catholic at Chelmsford. This is going to be, at least tentatively, for the lead in the MVC Large. The way the MVC has been going, you never know from week to week what the heck's going to go on. But Central has a slight lead now. That could change. Rick, just a few of your thoughts on Central at Chelmsford.
Yeah, well, again, every single week it seems like in the MVC there's 1 or 2 important games. This one, like Dennis said, if Chelmsford wins, if they lose, they may fall out of the running. But if they win, both they and Central Catholic are going to have 4-2 records in the league, but under the point system, Chelmsford will be ahead by 1 point. You get 2 for beating a team in your division and 1 for beating a crossover team. But should be a very good game. I think Chelmsford, after getting their head kind of handed to them by Dracut last week, is going to be upset, and Central Catholic seems to be getting better just about every week, so it's going to be interesting.
Carmine, have you seen either of these teams this year?
Yes, I did. I've seen both teams. I saw Chelmsford look very impressive. The game I saw them, they beat Acton Boxborough. That's Acton's only loss. And I saw Central when they beat Lowell in that wild shootout with their running back Trey Massamora scored 6 touchdowns. What I think is interesting in this game is the MVC has gone to the spread on virtually almost every team, throwing the ball all over the place. And in this game, you'll see 2 of the top running backs. It could be a game. Joe Gennaro of Chelmsford, depending on his health, I know he's been dinged up a bit at times, but still one of the one of the premier backs in the league. And Masamura is just a house. I mean, I saw him going through Lowell. They just couldn't tackle the kid. You know, it could be, matter of fact, it could be a quick game. It'd be nice to see a game under 3 hours in the MVC this year.
I was going to say the same thing. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Remember, Turkey Day is right around the corner. And Drake and Methuen, take care. Bye-bye.